So let's just settle into our meditation posture. And just try and land. So however it is you're turning up this evening, just check maybe what's going on inside internally. So if you're feeling a little bit grumpy or irritated or tired or even just happy, no judgment. Just check, just notice. So I think a lot of the time we're not really in touch with what's going on beneath the surface. It's like what's going on beneath that layer of ice. The river is moving underneath a layer of ice, and all we're aware of is the ice. We're not aware of the current underneath. So sometimes it's good to know what's going on there, because that current carries a lot of delusions, and then all of a sudden something pops up and then it falls out of our mouth or we take action. So anyway, just something to think about. So feet flat on the floor if you're sitting at a desk, and maybe slightly raised with a cushion. And other than that, in a cross-legged position, you can support your knees with cushions. And your sits bones raised, maybe 2 to 4 inches. Right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. And just imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light, stretching from the base all the way up to the crown of the head and beyond. So imagine as a puppeteer, perhaps above the crown of your head, very gently lengthening that string of light. So putting some space in between your vertebrae, coaxing those little muscles along, and ligaments and tendons. I'm not sure exactly what's at the back there. Just coaxing all those muscles to lengthen along your spine, along your back. Your head is slightly tipped forward and the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose if they were open. Tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. Welcome, Victor and Carol. And the lips are slightly apart. Relax the jaw. Just bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth, and the jaw. And bring your awareness to the back of the head and relax the scalp there. Particularly at the base of the skull, the occipital bone around that area. And relax the ears, the inner ear, the temples, the jaw. And then bring your awareness to the back of the neck and relax any tension, release any tension there. Let your shoulders drop down and let your shoulder blades drop down. And keep lengthening. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. And if there is a surface behind you, try not to lean against it unless you're not feeling very well or you're really tired. And you just hinge your head slightly forward. So we're not bending the neck forward, poking the head forward. You're just very gently, it's like a hinge. Drop the chin down, lengthen the back of the neck. Relax the throat, the chest, the belly, the limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. Bring the mind to the breath. Just noticing the sensation of the air as you're inhaling. It's a little bit cooler than the air you're exhaling. If there are any sounds in your environment, maybe there's some birds outside. Here the birds are starting to go to bed. There are people in the kitchen upstairs. So I'm just aware of that. My mind is moving out to try and determine what those sounds are. So same for you, you know, if there's, you can hear traffic or dogs or birds or people, pets. Just allow those sounds to be there and allow them to dissolve into the background as you refocus your mind on the breath. And then notice your thoughts. And try not to engage with them. Or entangle yourself in some kind of story or something that happened today maybe, or something that might be going to happen tomorrow. Just put some space in between those thoughts. And you can, if you like. I mean, we want to try and be, in this particular kind of a meditation, we want to try and be an observer. So almost like a very objective, just looking at what's arising without judgment, just as we did at the very beginning. Just notice what's there. Put some space in between it. Don't dive in and engage. And so we just put ourselves on the bank of the river and watch that river flow on by. And we're free from the river when we do that. So let's bring to mind all the people of our life. So they're our loved ones, our spouses and children and friends. And then there are those people in our life that we have difficulty with. And then there's those people who are complete strangers to us. And we seem to only really have concern for those people who we love, our best friends and our family and our dear colleagues and our buddies. But we should really have equal concern for the friend, the enemy, and the stranger, because just like us, they all want to be happy. And they all have a mother, a brother who loves them, as we love our friends. Even our enemy has somebody who loves them, sees them differently than we see them. And they all don't want to suffer, just like us. They want to be free from suffering, and they all have this incredible capacity for this enlightened mind. So just think, we'll do this meditation for all these people, and for all sentient beings, and for ourselves. So we're purifying. We create negativity with our mind, so we're going to create positivity with our mind instead. Hello, Shayla. Welcome. So just imagine there is no negativity that cannot be purified. So this purification process is a psychological one. We're using our mind to counteract that negativity, to heal ourselves. So first is the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any sentient being, no matter how tiny, no matter how insignificant, in this day, on this life, and in all past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. Having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. So who wants that? We don't want it. So logically it makes sense that we pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering. So think, I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret our delusions, our anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And again think, I am sick of this suffering. Then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We rely upon the Buddha, Vajrasattva, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And we're not needing Vajrasattva to forgive us. There's a really important distinction to make. We're actually purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. We're the ones that are doing the work. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher, manifesting your spiritual guide, manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus. And this lotus, although born out of mud, untainted by that mud, just like our enlightened potential, born out of our delusions, but untainted by them. He has this beautiful, radiant, blissful face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all the people of your life. No judgment, just really, really happy to see you. No matter how you're turning up this evening, he's very happy. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents a union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people that you've harmed recently and in the past. And then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you. And you have compassion for them because of the harm they've caused you. They will be experiencing suffering in the future and no idea when that suffering, when those problems will arise. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. So we start with the purification of the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose or from maybe a really strong, big, tall waterfall. If anyone's been to Yosemite, there's many there. Then there's Niagara Falls. So from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dino patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. And think there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is a purification of speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. It arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. So, before we do that, just remember all your gossip, and harsh speech, and useless speech, and lying, talking badly about others, and being divisive. It's the same, getting other people to agree with you, being careless with our speech. So all of this, I'm sure all of us are doing to some degree or other. I think we do more harm with our speech than probably anything. And we don't entirely realize it all the time. We never know how somebody is feeling, and we're never quite sure how our words are landing. So it's good to just keep reminding ourselves about our speech. Okay. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So now feel so happy your speech is completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So all that comes out of your mouth are wise, kind, helpful, beneficial words. So the next is a purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just as when you're walking into a pitch black room and you switch on a light, that light instantly dispels the darkness. So just keep that image in your mind and then try and make that work for you when the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart. And instantly, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind instantly dispelled, just like switching on a light, that fast. So all your attachment and neediness and depression and anger and resentment and jealousy and bitterness, all instantly dispelled as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti mepiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. And think that there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is a purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. And imagine this time that Guru Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. And you, if you wish, you can recite a couple of mantras each for the visualization of the body and of the speech and of the mind that we've just done. Or just imagine light and nectar filling you, pouring into you, filling you completely, and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mempi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasiti Mepiyata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guruhum, Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasiti Mepiyata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mepiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mepiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mepiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So now feel you are completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. And so next is the power of resolve. And then just, first of all, just rejoice in your efforts in turning up when you're probably busy and tired. So that's fantastic. That in itself is kind of amazing. And some of you have been doing it so regularly, so consistently for so long. So really, really rejoice. And then also rejoice in the efforts you're making to kind of get on top of your habits. So just think of something that you want to work on between now and tomorrow and give yourself a timeline. Maybe it's something to do with the speech. It can be a short timeline, 3 minutes, 3 seconds, 3 minutes, whatever works for you, whatever's doable for you. So this aspiration, this decision that we make to refrain from doing something is what gives us the strength to change. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown and think, my guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call that union, oneness. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. And you can think of maybe all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me right now may not necessarily be exactly the way they exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created this evening during this purification to all living beings, thinking may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And then also dedicate for yourself this merit for your own spiritual path, your own spiritual practice. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honouring the 3 jewels, savour of myself and others, your disciples, please live long. And for Lama Ursil, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, Mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe-Shera, beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. My gosh, I can't believe we're heading towards Friday again. I don't know. I don't know how it happens. Thank you very much, everybody. Lots of love. Thank you, Mary, for hosting. And good night. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.